You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. Welcome to Target Field, where tonight we have an American League matchup between the Los Angeles Angels of the American League West and the Minnesota Twins of the American League Central. The Angels have struggled for the most part of this season, while the Twins are the best team in baseball right now. You'll see them face off coming up right now. Jake Odorizzi in 13 starts has a 7-2 record with a 2.56 ERA. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. That earned run average is fifth best among American League pitchers, and his win total puts him in the top 10. 9 decisions in 13 starts. And coming to the plate, leadoff hitter Michael Aramicio. Aramicio playing center field. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. That's outside, counts 1-0. But Aramicio, the center fielder, Nick Martini, the right fielder, and Justin Upton in left field. But the Angels, most notably without Mike Trout, he got injured a couple weeks ago, and he'll be on the injured list for another 3 to 4 weeks. With the Angels missing his bat in the lineup, his defense in center field, and of course his overall character in the dugout and in the clubhouse. But Aramicio started the year out as depth. He wasn't even on the Major League roster. He got called up specifically because Mike Trout got hurt. The Angels also traded away Brian Goodwin, as that pitch misses inside. Traded him away to the Red Sox for Darwinson Hernandez, who's in AAA right now. So the Angels without 2 of their opening day starting outfielders. 1 to injury, 1 dealt away in a trade. 2-1 pitch. On the ground left side, that's foul. The count even 2-2. Odorizzi's 2-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Odorizzi starts his outing off with a strikeout, and that's out number 1. There's a breaking ball up in the zone. You don't normally want to leave breaking balls up, but he started it over the middle, and then it crossed over that outside part of the plate. Aramicio just missed it. And now with 1 out, here is Tommy La Stella. La Stella, a .241 hitter with 5 home runs and 18 RBIs entering play. Started his career with the Chicago Cubs. Now playing for an American League team in the Angels. He's their starting second baseman, a platoon player. Plays second when a righty's on the mound, and David Fletcher, a young middle infielder, plays second when there's a left-handed starter on the mound. Odorizzi makes that play. Throw to Sano in time. 2 quick outs for Odorizzi in the top of the first.
That is third. The third baseman, number 6.
And with that, we'll take a look, or maybe not. Well, that was supposed to be the starting lineup for the Angels, but I'll go over that with you right now. Aramicio in center, batting first. Tommy La Stella playing second, batting second. Anthony Rendon at third, batting third. He's up now. Justin Upton fourth, playing left field. Albert Pujols playing first and batting fifth. Matt Thaiss batting sixth. He's the designated hitter. Andrelton Simmons, shortstop, batting seventh. Jason Castro, the catcher, batting eighth. And Nick Martini, right fielder, batting ninth. But here's Anthony Rendon, a former Washington National, and as of last season, he's a World Series champion. Was one of the heroes in the World Series. Hit a crucial home run in Game 7 off Zach Greinke that forced him out of the game. Howie Kendrick, of course, hit a game-tying home run, and the Nationals took the lead late in the game to win Game 7. Strike 3 called Odorizzi. 2 strikeouts to start this ball game, and that ends the top of the first. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on for the Angels after a half inning. It's the Angels 0 and the Twins coming to bat. Here's Tyler Glasnow on the mound for the Angels. Glasnow 5-5 in 13 starts with a 4.04 ERA. Glasnow made his debut with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Was traded to the Tampa Bay Rays in the middle of the 2018 season. He and Austin Meadows went there for Chris Archer, but Glasnow, toward the beginning of this season, got traded to the Angels, where he's made an impact. Hasn't put up great numbers, not like the ones he put up last season before he got hurt. But he's a good arm to have in any rotation, and the Angels happy to have his services. The Angels are 30-34. They're third in the AL West. The Rangers and the Mariners are below the Angels, and above them, the Astros are in second, and the Athletics lead the AL West. The Angels are playing a division leader in the Minnesota Twins. The Twins are also the best team in baseball. It's close. The Dodgers and Twins have been keeping pace with each other, though they're not in the same division, but you can say for certain that the Twins are the best team in the American League.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
At this point in the season, the Twins have 2 40-game winners. Or excuse me, the AL Central has 2 40-game winners, the Twins and the White Sox. Out to left, there's Justin Upton. That's out number 1. And with that, we'll look at the starting lineup for the Twins. A powerful lineup that has the addition of Josh Donaldson in there as the cleanup hitter. He's one of the leading home run hitters in the American League. Of course, everybody else is dangerous. Nelson Cruz, Eddie Rosario, Miguel Sano. And the one player who's not a power threat, or a couple of players not power threats in this lineup, but the 7-hitter Luis Arias and the 9-hitter Byron Buxton. Here's Jorge Polanco, switch hitter, batting from the left side. He swings and misses for strike 1. Polanco batting .303, entering play. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. On the ground right side and foul. He's quickly down to the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Glasnow was one of the starters for the Tampa Bay Rays in playoffs last season. He pitched against a former pitcher of his old organization. Both Garrett Cole and Tyler Glasnow came up with the Pirates. Cole was playing for the Astros and won his start in Game 5. That moved the Astros to the American League Championship Series, where they beat the Yankees and then lost to the Nationals in the World Series. But that Tampa Bay Rays team in 2019 was a force to be reckoned with. A lot of players got hot. The team just melded together well. 2-2 pitch in the air. Left center field. Upton seems like he might have a play. And Hermesio's the one that actually runs it down. Man, oh man, that was close to being a gapper. Hermesio has some speed behind him, though. And he outran Upton to the ball and made the play. So with 2 outs, that'll bring up Nelson Cruz. 4th in right field all-star voting. Of course, in MLB The Show land, there is no designated hitter spot. You can't have a designated hitter vote. So his primary position is right field, and that's where his votes will be tallied. Wow, look at that! The throw is offline, and Pujols almost beat Cruz to the bag. That will go down as an error. That was a routine play for Jorge Polanco that he didn't make. But man, that was still close to being an out. Oh, excuse me, Andrelton Simmons, the shortstop of the Angels. But here's Josh Donaldson. And that's rare to see Andrelton Simmons make an error. He's won 2 Gold Gloves with 2 different teams in 2 different leagues. He won 2 Gold Gloves with the Braves and 2 Gold Gloves since being a part of the Angels. But he makes an error there that allows Cruz to reach base. That extends this inning a bit longer. Now here's Josh Donaldson. Swinging a miss, strike 1. Donaldson, a .324 hitter. He's leading the American League in several categories. He's also first on the Twins in batting average, but he's second in the league in RBIs. Somebody that had his job, or had his value needed to be reestablished. That was last season, where he had some injuries with the Blue Jays toward the end of his career with them. Got traded to the Indians, then had a contract year, played 1 year with the Braves, and earned himself a multi-year contract now with the Twins because he did well with the Braves last season. He strikes out there, so Tyler Glasnow works around the walk and pitches a scoreless bottom of the first. No runs, no hits, 1 error in the inning, 1 left on after 1 full inning. It's the Angels 0 and the Twins 0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Middle of the order due up for the Angels in this half inning. Justin Upton, Albert Pujols, and Matt Thaiss. And yes, it is having a nice extra game on Sunday. So the reason why we had 4 features today is because tomorrow there are only 2 Major League games being played. The simulations we do here are a realistic schedule, so we go like the real schedule is uploaded into the game, MLB The Show 20. So in real life, there would have been only 2 Major League games. So because we only had 2 games, because we only have 2 games tomorrow, 4 games we played today to even out that, we like to have 3 a day, but it's not possible to have 3 tomorrow. So we'll do 4 today, 2 tomorrow, and then 3 from Tuesday on. 2-1 pitch to Justin Upton. On the ground and foul, the count 2-2. Upton has played for a few teams in his career. Former Arizona Diamondback, Atlanta Brave, Detroit Tiger. Now with the Angels after being traded here a few seasons ago. He's been a consistent middle-of-the-order bat. Still aging, but has power potential. Is a bit of a defensive liability, but he's a good veteran to have in the lineup when it comes to offensive production. 3-2 pitch. That's fouled off again. Count still full 3-2. Odorizzi struck out 2 in the top of the first inning, and now he's pitching here in the top of the second. The 5th best ERA in the American League. The Twins have quite the rotation that has been bolstered recently. Homer Bailey was activated from the injured list last week, so he's in the rotation now. Jake Odorizzi's been doing well. Kenta Maeda is having an all-star caliber season, perhaps an MVP season or a Cy Young Award winning season, as Upton beats that one out. First hit of the game for either team. But the Twins have a tough rotation to deal with now, which balances their entire team. It's not offensive heavy anymore, but there are some quality pitchers that are preventing teams from scoring, and the offense is doing what it did last year, which is hitting home runs, producing runs in general, and winning ball games, enough for them to be contending for one of the best teams in Major League Baseball. And at this point, they're the best team in the American League. They have the best record. Albert Pujols up to the plate. Justin Upton on first base. Jake Odorizzi's pitch. That's a strike. Counts 0-1. Albert Pujols made his debut in 2001. He's a member of the St. Louis Cardinals. Made himself a Hall of Fame career just there alone, but has been playing for the Angels since 2012. While he's still aging, he's got some power left in his bat. Doesn't run well anymore. Is a bit of a defensive liability. There are a lot of question marks regarding his future when his contract expires with the Angels. He'll sign a short-term deal or he'll decide to retire. One-two pitch coming to Albert Pujols. Check swing, counts even 2-2. But while the Angels had Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, a couple of other of their core players, Cole Calhoun, another, swing and a miss, that's out number 1. But out of all the players, out of all the quality players that have been on the Angels, they only made playoffs once. It was in 2014, and they got swept by the Royals. The Angels had the best record in the American League in 2014. It was back when they had Josh Hamilton as well playing the outfield. C.J. Wilson was one of their top pitchers. Counts 0-1 on Matt Thaiss. But this Angels team has had so much promise. They've had some big names on their team. And they've put together decent ball clubs, but haven't made playoffs regularly and just haven't seemed to get it together. They're like borderline good, but there's just something, it's just another player they need or something to just get them over the hump of having a losing season, and a piece to their puzzle to get them into playoffs and then further into playoffs. The Angels have won World Series in franchise history, and that was in 2002. And I didn't realize how old Mike Scioscia was or how long he was on the Angels team until I saw a documentary on the 2002 Angels, and Scioscia was the manager of the team back then. And of course, his contract expired, and he's no longer the manager of the Angels. Joe Maddon is now, but Mike Scioscia, a very good player when he played for the Dodgers in his career and managed the Angels to a World Series championship. As Theis strikes out now with 2 outs, here's Andrelton Simmons, .274 hitter with 6 home runs and 22 RBIs. Simmons, former Atlanta Brave, won a couple Gold Gloves there. Also won a couple Gold Gloves with the Angels. He's a very good defensive shortstop, and he was breaking out as a quality offensive player too until an injury stifled him over the last couple seasons. That's a nice play by Donaldson to Sano. That's out number 3. And the top of the second inning is over. The Angels get a base runner on a hit, but fail to score in the top of the second. After an inning and a half, it's the Angels 0 and the Twins 0. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 5, 6, 7 hitters due up in the Twins order. Eddie Rosario, the first to bat, and he'll be followed by Miguel Sano and Luis Arias. Rosario, a versatile player, can play several infield and outfield positions, but he's found himself a home in left field. He's played there consistently over the last few seasons. Has always been a quality hitter, and he's one of the more underrated power hitters on this team. Of course, when you're overshadowed by names like Nelson Cruz, Josh Donaldson, Miguel Sano. But Rosario, a secret power weapon, as is Max Kepler as well, the right fielder of this team. But they're bats that have helped out this Twins team. And of course, the Twins last season set a record by hitting the most home runs by a single team in a single season. Out to right field. Catch made by Martini. That's out number 1. So 1 out, bottom of the second. That'll bring up Miguel Sano. But just to back that up about Rosario, he hit .276 last season with 32 home runs and 109 RBIs. There's another power threat in Miguel Sano, .277 hitter entering play. 1-0. Swing and a miss, counts even 1-1. Sano was originally a third baseman. Had some defensive issues in his career. So the Twins acquired Josh Donaldson, who's been playing third, and Sano moved from third to first. Sano hit 34 home runs last year and drove in 79. And he gets himself a base hit there. The first hit Tyler Glasnow's given up in this one. The Twins have a runner on with 1 out. Well, speaking of Glasnow and the Angels, back on April 27th, the Angels had thrown a combined no-hitter. And it's just that much more memorable because they also threw a combined no-hitter last season, a couple days after Tyler Skaggs passed away. So they threw one last year, and they threw one this year as well. But Glasnow was the starter in that game. He pitched almost the whole game. There were a couple other pitchers that came out of the bullpen. Hansel Robles was one of them to close out the game and secure the no-hitter. No ball, 1 strike pitch to Luis Arias. It's down low, counts even 1-1. Arias, one of the few hitters on this Twins team that isn't really a home run hitter. He's a .317 average. His game is contact. He runs well. And look at that, another knock for him. Not too much of a power threat, but gets hits like that all the time. So Sano singles, as does Arias. That puts Sano on second and Arias on first. Still 1 out in the bottom of the second. And Alex Avila is the one on deck. He's coming up to the plate now. Avila, .212 hitter with 1 home run and 10 RBIs. He was not the regular starting catcher on this team at the start of the year, but the Twins traded away Mitch Garver to the Dodgers about 3 weeks ago. But now Avila has been a regular starter. Avila was once a part of another AL Central team in his career, the Detroit Tigers. He spent the bulk of his career there and was a part of their playoff teams from 2011, 2012, 2013, and 2014. Of course, the Tigers' window of opportunity is closed with their core group of players like Avila, but they've lost some other players as well. Max Scherzer, Anibal Sanchez. Their 2015 team didn't go too far, but they had quite a team. They had David Price. They had found a way to acquire him. They signed Yoenis Cespedes, whose contract is still good with the Mets. He got traded in 2015. But the Tigers were an example of how sometimes spending money doesn't always equate to winning, because they were just spending on the biggest free agents and trying to win a championship and compete with teams that just had a better foundation than they did. They didn't set a foundation with prospects. They tried to buy and acquire, and it made their window of opportunity shorter. They weren't developing players, and they rolled the dice, and it just didn't work out. Out to right field. Catch made by Martini, and he gets it in quickly. And that keeps Sano at second base, and Araya is still on first. Now with 2 outs in the bottom of the second, the number 9 hitter comes to the plate, Byron Buxton. Buxton, a .251 hitter with the Twins this season. Most noted for his defensive abilities. He's a plus runner, one of the fastest in baseball. Quick, good at stealing bases, good at patrolling center. He had an injury to start this season, but he was only on the injured list for 1 or 2 weeks. And he's been in center field ever since. Max Kepler in right, Eddie Rosario in left. That's into center. That's a base hit. They're waving Sano. Hermecio picks it up and gets it into the cutoff man, but a run scores. That's Miguel Sano scoring from second. Arias moves from first to second, and Byron Buxton aboard at first with a 2-out RBI single. Glasnow kind of hung that pitch, and Buxton handled it well. Sent it straight back up the middle. Gets himself a knock. Gets the Twins on the board early. And now back to the top of the order. Here's Max Kepler, who's 1 for 12 in the series, but his only hit was a 2-run home run. Max Kepler, one of just over 40 players that have played Major League Baseball to be born in the country of Germany. There have only been about 40 players in all of Major League Baseball that have descended from Germany. 1-1 pitch. That's down low. Counts 2-1. Glasnow, 37 pitches in this game. Is throwing more strikes than not. But he's given up 3 singles in this inning, which have yielded the Twins a run. In the air toward left. And that'll find the seats. That evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Glasnow not out of trouble, but he's a strike away and out away from escaping this little jam. Count full 3-2. And this isn't the guy you want to walk in this situation, although many of these Twins hitters are deadly. But with Polanco, Cruz, and Donaldson, the next 3 to follow Kepler, it's never a good situation to have them hit with runners on base if you're an opposing team of the Twins. That's out to right center field. There's Hermecio. Catch made, and the Twins get a run, and the Angels escape danger. Could have been worse, but the Twins have a 1-0 lead going into inning 3. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. 8-9-1 hitters due up in the Angels order. Jason Castro, Nick Martini, and Michael Hermisio. Jason Castro, former Minnesota Twin, started his career with the Astros, was the starting catcher of the Twins for several years. That's until Mitch Garver had his breakout season last year, so Castro spent most of his time on the bench. And when he became a free agent this past offseason, he decided to sign with the Angels,
Off the plate, ball 1.
which was a mutual benefit for both teams. The Angels get a veteran catcher, and Castro gets an opportunity to start somewhere. 1-1 pitch from Odorizzi. That's fouled off. Counts 1-2. Castro facing his former team with an entirely new look. 1-2 pitch. That's too high, counts even 2-2. Odorizzi just 36 pitches now through 2+ innings. Throwing efficiently and getting outs. Strike 3, that's out number 1. Odorizzi now with 5 strikeouts, and we'll look at the wins leaders in the American League. You see Jake Odorizzi tied for third best with 7 wins. And he's behind one of his teammates, Kenta Maeda. 8 wins. Hyunjin Ryu also with 8 wins. Maeda and Ryu were Dodger teammates once. Now playing for 2 different teams in the AL. And both are doing well, succeeding with their new teams. Kenta Maeda, even a more special story because while Ryu was an everyday starter with the Dodgers, Maeda was in a long relief role. And he got spot starts, but wasn't consistently in the rotation with the Dodgers. But it's hard to be in a rotation when you're on a Dodgers team that's so successful. But with Maeda getting traded to Minnesota, it's given him an opportunity to be a regular starter, and he's taken full advantage, and he's really breaking out. But Odorizzi is as well. That's 6 strikeouts now for Odorizzi. And as mentioned before, but he enters today with a 2.56 ERA, which is 5th best in the AL. He and Maeda are at the top of this rotation. Homer Bailey's back from the injured list. Rich Hill should be coming back in a week or 2. This is a Twins team that can see some good things happening. I mean, they're already seeing good things happening, but a rotation that has given them the best record in baseball could get even better. Michael Hermisio at the plate. He's quickly down 0-2. Got him! Strikes out the side, and the top of the 3rd inning is over. Odorizzi, masterful through 3 innings. Going to the bottom of the 3rd, it's the Twins 1 and the Angels 0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis, and there's Heidi Watney showing you the hitting stats of the Twins in 2020. Well, he scored 5.79 runs per game, so that's good. In all of Major League Baseball, that's the number 1 total. And they also have the most home runs in all of Major League Baseball, 119 as a team. I mean, they've been a home run hitting team. They established themselves as a powerful team last season. Won the AL Central, got swept by the Yankees in playoffs. But this season, they have the best record in the American League, and their offense has not gotten any worse. As a matter of fact, it's gotten better. Now with Josh Donaldson in the rotation, Miguel Sano, Eddie Rosario, Max Kepler, Jorge Polanco, Nelson Cruz all still in the lineup. They didn't lose too many players. As a matter of fact, they gained one of the better players in baseball this offseason in Josh Donaldson. Sliding stop, La Stella. to Pujols. That's out number 1.
Up next to the plate, the designated hitter.
It's a nice play there. Got his momentum to shift with that slide. That's the whole reason why any infielder slide. It's to stop their momentum more quickly. So Polanco out. With 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd, here's Nelson Cruz. He reached on an error back in the 1st. Facing Tyler Glasnow for the 2nd time in this game. That's high. Called a strike. Counts 0-1. Cruz still one of the best players, one of the best hitters, more specifically, in Major League Baseball.
1-1.
He was a right fielder for the Rangers, where he played the majority of his career. Also played for the Orioles for a short period of time in 2014. Signed with the Mariners, where he took on more of a designated hitter role. Played there from 2015 to 2018. And signed a deal with the Twins in the 18-19 offseason. And he's still putting up solid numbers as a designated hitter. He's gotten more attention, though, because the Twins have been doing better than the Mariners have, and the Twins are setting records. And that ball is gone. Nearly no doubt about that one. Nelson Cruz, home run number 19, and the Twins have a 2-0 lead. And moreover, that's the Twins' 120th home run as a team this season. Oh, he left it up. Glasnow left it up. Cruz, most of the time, does exactly what he just did to pitches in that location. High, middle of the plate. Twins extend their lead. Now Donaldson flies that one out to right field. There's Martini. He makes the catch. That's out number 2. And just a note as I'm looking at the live chat, Michael Pineda got sent down to AAA because of poor performance, so he's not in their rotation anymore. He didn't win many games either since he was in the Twins rotation. But speaking of Pineda and a couple other players that got sent down to the minors, that helped the Twins out more than not. And I'll tell you how when we go to the 4th inning. But Pujols makes that play. Rosario out at first. And the 3rd inning's over. But Nelson Cruz extends the Twins' lead. It's 2-0 after this solo home run. After 3 full innings, the Twins have 2 runs and the Angels have 0. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20, and I'm Nicholas Callis. 2, 3, 4 hitters due up in the Angels order. Tommy La Stella, Anthony Rendon, and Justin Upton. But the Twins have had success. They've moved players around. They got rid of Mitch Garver, which was a surprise at first, but their record didn't get worse without him on the roster. They traded for a couple prospects and Scott Alexander, who's a left-handed arm now in the bullpen of the Twins. But the Dodgers had got Garver. It was about 3 weeks ago that trade went down. But the Twins, with some moves made, some transactions happening, they achieved a 24-5 record in the month of May. Now, the White Sox were in first place for the most part of May, all of April. But even though the White Sox went 18-11, which is a pretty respectable record to have in a single month, the Twins went 24-5. The Twins took first place from the White Sox, and the White Sox have been on a cold streak. They lost to the Tigers earlier today. The Tigers are 4th in the AL Central. But the Twins have just continued to stay hot. 24-5 record in the month of May, and they haven't given up the AL Central lead since we've turned over to June. Kepler makes that play. That's out number 1. So La Stella's out, and that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Anthony Rendon. But as he comes to the plate, we'll take a look at the pitch speed comparison sponsored by Topps. Glasnow throwing 99. Maxing out the gun, Jake Odorizzi at 96, though Odorizzi has been striking out plenty of Angels hitters, and Glasnow has already given up 2 runs through 3 innings. Here comes Anthony Rendon. Rendon 0 for 1. He struck out in the first inning. I'm talking about the Twins staying hot. Last week, they played all 7 days, and they won 6 of 7 games. They're in position to win this series outright against the Angels, but the Angels were their only loss. They started this 4-game series on Thursday. The Twins lost 11-3, but then won on Friday 8-7 and won yesterday 5-4, so a couple close wins. And they're out to an early 2-0 lead in the top of the 4th of this game. But they beat the White Sox last Sunday, then swept the Rays. Trying to win another series and make it 7 of 8 games won.
Now batting, the left fielder,
Jake Odorizzi
Justin.
just walked Anthony Rendon. Not a bad decision. Rendon certainly still has a dangerous bat. I'm going to bring up Justin Upton, who's 1 for 1. He hit an infield single in the 2nd inning. 7 for 15 in this series and 6 home runs in this 4-game series. Those 4 home runs did not include today, so he hit those 6 home runs in 3 games. Oh, 1 pitch to Upton. On the ground and foul, the count 0-2. Jake Odorizzi's pitch count has gone up a bit, but still pitching efficiently. Here comes pitch number 55 in the top of the 4th. That's foul. Count still 0-2 on Upton. Oh, 2 pitch. One more time. Tried to get him to chase, but discipline paid off there. Counts 1-2. Anthony Rendon on first base. So 1-2 pitch to Upton. Fouled back, and Upton extending this plate appearance. Counts still 1-2. That's outside. Counts even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Upton to this point has gotten the only hit for the Angels in this game. Rendon the only one to walk so far. He's on first base right now. 2-2. Got him. Odorizzi wins the battle with a strikeout. That's strikeout number 8 through 3 2/3 innings.
Now batting.
And with 2 outs, here comes Albert Pujols. Pujols struck out and his last at bat, his first at bat of the game. Facing Odorizzi for the 2nd time this game with 2 outs and Rendon on first base. And he fouls that pitch off. The count's 0-1. When you saw that graphic, Pujols 101 home runs shy of the career total that Barry Bonds accumulated in 2007. The career home run record in Major League Baseball is 762. Pujols is at 661. In the air to left field. There's Rosario. He makes the catch. The top of the 4th inning is over. The Angels get no runs on no hits. There was 1 walk in the inning and 1 runner left on base. Middle of the 4th, it's the Twins 2 and the Angels 0. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20, and I'm Nicholas Callis. An Angels team that is 3rd in the American League West with a 30-34 record entering play faces an AL Central leading Minnesota Twins team that has the best record in the American League. The Twins entering today have a record of 46-20. They're 6 games above the White Sox, who just a couple weeks ago, the White Sox were in first place. The White Sox have lost 3 games in a row. They just lost to the Tigers earlier today. They've fallen behind a Twins team that got hot in May and has brought the heat into June. So far in the month of June, the Twins have lost just 1 game. Glasnow quickly ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Sano started a rally in the second inning that got the Twins a run. He singled, Arias singled, and Byron Buxton knocked home a run. But Sano strikes out there. That's out number 1. Glasnow with 2 strikeouts. Glasnow gave up 2 runs. One was on an RBI single by Byron Buxton, and the other was a Nelson Cruz home run that was hit in the 3rd inning. Now we're here in the 4th. The Twins still have the lead. The Angels just 1 hit and 1 walk to their name. Here's Luis Arias. Arias made his debut last season, and he has been quite the hitter. Again, I've talked about this plenty enough, but just to mention it again, Arias is in the middle of a team that hits home runs and produces runs, but he's somebody who makes contact and hits for average, and you just saw it demonstrated there. A line drive straight to Hermisio. That's out number 2, but that's something he does time and time again. Line drives, ground balls, soft hits, and he gets on base, which is valuable, but for a Twins team that has been so power-focused recently, it's odd to see a guy like him in the lineup. He and Byron Buxton are 2 of the only hitters that aren't power-based in their games, although Buxton doesn't hit well in any form. He's not a good contact or power hitter. Just gets on base because of his speed more often than not. But Arias has true contact abilities that have netted him high averages, both last season and starting this season. Avila down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. The catcher of the Twins. Outside counts 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
1 ball, 2 strike count to the veteran catcher of the Twins. Ground ball against the shift. Rendon playing it from the shortstop position, throws to Pujols, and the 4th inning is over. No runs on no hits and nobody left on for the Twins. After 4 full innings, the Twins lead the Angels 2-0. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network, and watch out, Heidi Watney is going to come on your screen. Oh, look, the sun's shining and bringing out the pink color of her shirt. Very nice. She talks when Matt Vasgersian and company are on these games, but when I'm here, it's all silence. That's been a running joke for a while now. It's just because when you turn off the commentary volume in the game, all the commentators go away. Although I do wish she would talk when I do these games, because what she says is valuable whenever they're on. But hey, it's all right. 6, 7, 8 hitters due up for the Angels in this half inning. Matt Thaiss to lead off. And you see there, Tyler Clippard and Corey Guerin warming up in the Twins bullpen. Odorizzi has 8 strikeouts. He's entering his 5th inning on the mound. He's at 63 pitches, which isn't concerningly high. But we'll see how this game develops for him, and this inning more specifically. Counts 1-1 on Thaiss. Thaiss played for the first time in Major League Baseball last season. And it was kind of unfortunate that he had to be called up, but he was one of the players called up after Tyler Skaggs passed away. And he's more of a first baseman, hasn't really played any other positions, but he started that game at third base. The game he first got called up to after Skaggs had passed away and the Angels threw their combined no-hitter. But he made a couple quality defensive plays, and he's been on the roster ever since, but more of a first baseman designated hitter combo than a third baseman. Here are the earned run average leaders, though, in the American League, and talked about this already. Jake Odorizzi, 5th on that list with a 2.56 ERA. Kenta Maeda, his teammate, has a 2.45 ERA, good for second best, and that's just to emphasize how good this Twins pitching staff has been. Mostly starters only qualify for earned run average leaders, but the Twins have a solid bullpen. One ball, no strike pitch. In the air to left field. Down the line, and that's gone. The Angels cut the lead in half. It's 2-1 on Andrelton Simmons' 7th home run of the season. And maybe some foreshadowing by the Twins. Odorizzi, 8 strikeouts. Giving up just 1 hit and 1 walk to this point. But the Twins decided to put some arms in the bullpen. And look what follows. The Angels' first run. Their second hit. And with that, Jason Castro comes up to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He struck out against Odorizzi, one of 8 strikeout victims in this game thus far. And that's high. Called a strike. Counts 0-1. Castro 1 for 5 in the series. This is game 4 of a 4-game series. The Angels won game 1, but the Twins won the 2 most recent games. Down low, counts 1-1. One ball, 1 strike pitch to the former catcher of the Twins. Down the line and foul. The count's 1-2. Jason Castro, once an All-Star, made the All-Star team once. But that was back with the Houston Astros in 2013. And he strikes out again. That's 9 strikeouts now for Odorizzi. Now there are 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter in the Angels order, Nick Martini. Martini is 0 for 1, like so many other Angels hitters. 11 for 28 on the season. He started this year in the minor leagues. He was just supposed to be a depth outfielder. But because of some injuries and trades, he got called up, and now he's starting as the right fielder. Broke out with the Oakland Athletics. They traded around a few other teams. Now he's with the Angels. And his services have been needed at the major league level. Towards center, that's going to fall. Base hit. Buxton picks it up and gets it in quickly. Martini has himself a 2-out single. The top of the 5th inning, though it's still the middle of this game. That's a potential tying run on base. As the top of the order comes back up, here's Michael Hermisio. He struck out twice against Odorizzi in this one. And he fouls that pitch off. The count's 0-1. Hermisio, like Martini, was supposed to be depth, though Hermisio was on the major league roster when the season began, though he didn't play much. But with Trout out, with Goodwin gone, Hermisio has been handling center field duties. On the ground right side, Arias elects to go to Polanco. That forces out Martini at second, and the top of the 5th is over. But the Angels get on the board, and they cut the lead in half at the same time with this solo home run by Andrelton Simmons. Just about halfway through this one, it's the Twins 2 and the Angels 1. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. 9-1-2 hitters due up in the Twins order: Byron Buxton, Max Kepler, and Jorge Polanco. Glass now still on the mound. His team helping him out a bit. They got a run in the top of the 5th. So there's action in the bullpen for the Angels. Keenan Middleton and No Ramirez. Glass now gave up 2 runs. He gave up a run in the second after 3 singles. Yielded a run. And he gave up a solo home run to Nelson Cruz in the 3rd. Pitched a scoreless 4th. Now pitching here in the 5th. By the way, both these teams are being managed by newer managers on the scene, or that's not true. Not entirely true. Both these teams have new managers. Newer managers. Rocco Baldelli took the job, was the manager in 2019. Led the Twins to an 100-win season, and they won the AL Central. The Angels let go of Mike Scioscia after this offseason, and a manager who recently parted ways with the Cubs took the job, and that's Joe Maddon. In year 1 now with the Angels after managing the Rays and the Cubs. Managed them both the World Series as well, and he won the World Series with the Cubs in 2016. Now trying to turn around an Angels team that hasn't made playoffs since 2014. And hasn't had consistent winning seasons over the years. But Buxton out. 1 out, bottom of the 5th. Here's Max Kepler. He's 0 for 2 against Glasnow. The AL West, however, has been a division over the last decade that has seen multiple teams win it. And I'm sure if you're a baseball fan and you follow baseball strongly, that you know which team out of the 5 in the AL West, which team did not make the playoffs or did not win the division at all in the 2010 decade. And I'll just tell you who that is. The Seattle Mariners did not win the division in the 2010s, though every other team did. That's down the line and left. Kepler beats the shift, and he might get extra bases out of it. Upton picks it up and just gets the relay toward third. It's a 1-out double for Max Kepler. And with that, we'll look at doubles leaders on the Twins team, and Max Kepler now has 12. Secured himself the 3rd best spot on this list. So 1 out, runner on second. Here's the switch hitter, Jorge Polanco. Batting from the left side, he's 0 for 2 against Glasnow. His average has fallen to 300 now. He's bordering a 300 average. But just to go over some history of the AL West. Starting just from what I know, you have the Athletics, who won the division in 2013 and 2014. No, that's a lie. The A's. I'm sorry for stumbling, but the A's won it in 2012 and 2013. The Angels won in 2014, as Polanco gets hit by that pitch. The Angels won in 2014. The Rangers won in 2015 and 2016. Then the Astros won from 2017 to 2019. Of course, the Mariners haven't made playoffs at all in the longest time, even with the new 2-team wild card format. And they've been close, too. The Athletics have actually turned it on and got a hot streak enough to make it into the wild card game and knocked the Mariners out of the playoffs a couple times. And the Mariners were almost destined. It looked like it seemed that they were going to make it into the wild card game, 2018 specifically as well. They might have been the second wild card team going to face the Yankees that year, and they had a tough end of September, early October, and they didn't make playoffs. The Athletics slid in and took that spot from them. Meanwhile, here, though, Nelson Cruz just added a run to the Twins' total. That one straight down the line. It was close to being fouled, but it stayed fair. Run comes in to score. And it's now 3-1 Twins lead. There's Polanco sliding into third. Cruz on first, and there's Joe Madden coming out of the dugout of the Angels. So Glasnow pitches into the 5th inning, but can't finish it off. And at this moment, he's in line for the loss. He also has runners that are his responsibility on base. Cruz on first and Polanco on third.
Your attention, please.
But here's who the Angels bring out. It's Matt Andriese, former Tampa Bay Ray. In 17 games this year has a 3-1 record, an ERA of 6.34. That's in 49 2/3 innings pitched. He's been consistently coming out of the bullpen and eating up innings. He's a long relief pitcher. He's a former starting pitcher prospect. When he was with the Rays, though, he had alternated between being in the rotation and being a long relief arm. And since he's joined the Angels, he has been a long relief arm, and his duties here are to eat up innings when a starter doesn't pitch strongly or doesn't have a strong start. Josh Donaldson up to the plate. Donaldson, 306 average with runners in scoring position. Has a couple runners on to potentially drive in. Donaldson, a former Oakland Athletic, Toronto Blue Jay, Cleveland Indian, Atlanta Brave, now playing for the Twins. The most notable part of his career, though, was when he was with the Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays had several players. Everything just seemed to come together for them in 2015. As Simmons makes that play, that's out number 2. They won the AL East in 2015, beat the Orioles in the wild card game in 2016, made it to the American League Championship both years. And then they fell apart, so they're on a rebuilding stage. They didn't sign Donaldson back, and now Donaldson giving his services to a Twins team that already has a powerful lineup. But he lines out there, now with 2 outs. Here's Eddie Rosario. Rosario 0 for 2 in this one, facing Matt Andriese for the first time. Andriese just came into the game. Rosario, a .216 hitter with runners in scoring position. Just as much of a power threat as anybody else in this Twins lineup. No ball, 1 strike pitch. On the ground and foul. The count 0-2. Andriese, a strike and an out away from escaping this rather small jam. In the air and foul, the count 0-2. Of course, in the game of baseball, a small jam can turn into big problems in a hurry. But 2 runners on, both Glasnow's responsibility. Andriese trying to prevent any more runs from scoring to be added to his score line, and he does that. So Glasnow, 3 earned runs officially given up. Neither of those runs score on base. But the Twins do add a run. Nelson Cruz had an RBI single, and after 5 full innings, it's the Twins 3 and the Angels 1. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20, and I'm Nicholas Callis. 2, 3, 4 hitters due up in the Angels lineup to begin this inning. Tommy La Stella, Anthony Rendon, and Justin Upton. That's inside, counts 1-0. So don't forget, if you're new to Major League Baseball's virtual network, you can always hit the subscribe button on YouTube, MLB Virtual Network. Just type that in, and our channel should pop up in the search bar, or the search results. But subscribe, you can get notifications on when we go live and when we upload videos that have crucial information for you following this league. You can also follow us on Twitter. The handle is @VirtualMLB, where we post videos that we do on YouTube, as well as give announcements about transactions, injuries. The schedule's posted there every week for all the games we feature week to week, 3 guaranteed games a day. Again, follow Twitter @VirtualMLB. Out toward left field, Rosario running for it, and he makes the catch. Tommy La Stella out. That's out number 1 in the top of the 6th. Anthony Rendon is coming to the plate.
Number 6, Anthony Rendon.
But don't forget also, if you're new to this channel, that we do a results and standings update at the end of every day. So the idea is not to just follow a few highlighted teams every day, but the idea is to give everybody some recognition, so that you can follow your favorite team, even if your favorite team isn't featured on a given day. But you can check scores, you can check standings, you can see who the league leaders are. Which is the whole point of this network, is to give everybody a chance to follow their favorite team while we don't have real baseball around. Up the middle, that's a base hit. Anthony Rendon aboard for the 2nd time. He walked in his most recent plate appearance, but gets himself a single there, his first hit of the game. He kind of pulled off that outside pitch, but he got the right part of the bat on the ball. And so he was able to steer it into center. And there's Rocco Baldelli. That'll do it for Jake Odorizzi, who pitches into the 6th, gets an out, but gives up a hit. That'll bring the tying run to the plate for the Angels. But Odorizzi will get out of this game with at least a no decision. That's pending an Angels comeback, but he is in line for the win at this point. And Tyler Clippard coming out, and he'll pitch now for the Twins. In 37 1/3 innings pitched, he has a 193 earned run average. A veteran pitcher. Played for a few teams in his career. And now with the Twins, and a part of a bullpen that has been mostly lights out. The one flaw in the Minnesota Twins bullpen this season has been their former closer, Taylor Rogers. He had blown 7 saves. I think it was more than 7. I don't have the exact number for you, but yeah, he is no longer the closer because he had given up too many saves. He blew too many saves. So the new closer There's a new closer for the Twins. And we might see him if he gets into this game, if the game stays as close as it is. But since that time, since that move was made, the Twins have had more wins. Because they have a lockdown closer. 2-ball, 2-strike pitch coming to Justin Upton. That's fouled off. The count's still 2-2. But Tyler Duffey, that's the name of the new closer, Tyler Duffey. And Taylor Rogers has been reduced to a setup role. Two and two on Justin Upton. Here comes the pitch from Tyler Clippard. Anthony Rendon on first, and swing and a miss. Clippard gets him out. Starts his outing out with a strikeout. Now there are 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. And Albert Pujols is coming to the plate. Just a well-placed off-speed pitch, dropped below his knees. And here is Albert Pujols. Anthony Rendon on first. He singled off of Jake Odorizzi right before he got taken out of the game. Toward the middle, there's Polanco. To Arias covering second. Out at second is Rendon. And the top of the 6th inning is over. The Angels get no runs on 1 hit and leave 1 runner on base. At the end of 5.5 innings, it's the Twins 3 and the Angels 1. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 6, 7, 8 hitters due up for the Twins. Miguel Sano, Luis Arias, and Alex Aviles. Sano 1 for 2. He singled in the 2nd inning and ended up scoring the Twins' first run, their first of 3. Despite being a heavy home run team to this point, the Twins have hit just 1 home run in this game. Nelson Cruz went deep in the 3rd, but Byron Buxton had an RBI single in the 2nd, and Nelson Cruz had an RBI single in the 5th. Matt Andriese still on the mound. Tyler Glasnow gave up that RBI single to Nelson Cruz before getting taken out of the game, and Matt Andriese finished the 5th inning, not allowing any more runs to score, and now he's here in the 6th. Outside counts full 3-2. Swing and a miss. Well-placed pitch. Andriese strikes out Sano to begin the bottom of the 6th. That pitch was a bit outside, but it was a close pitch. Looked like a fastball. And Sano just couldn't reach it. Couldn't foul it off. Chased it a bit. And now there's 1 out. Luis Arias up to the plate. Arias 1 for 2. His average has gone up to .319. And he has an on-base percentage of .392. Respectable numbers for a young player. Made his debut last season. And, oh, look out. That was up toward his head, and you see there he doesn't take too kindly to that. I mean, it's typical for players not to want to get hit up and in. Of course, for reasons that I assume are obvious, but I'll just say them. Your head is important. And when there's a decently sized, hard object coming at you up towards your head, the damage that can be done is not good. And we've seen that over the years in baseball. Although, a fact in baseball history, there's been only 1 player who has ever died from getting hit in the head with a pitch. That was in the 1950s. But even in the dead ball era, even when players didn't wear the protective helmets that are available now, still only 1 player in the history of Major League Baseball had passed away from getting hit with a pitch up in the head. 1 ball, 2-strike count on Avila. Arias on first base. And if you're just joining and wondering why we're talking about players dying because of getting hit in the head, well, Arias almost got hit in the head And he's on first because he got hit by a pitch. In the air out to left field. That's going to stay fair. That'll get down into the corner. Upton plays it. Arias will try to score. Simmons holds the relay. That's an RBI double for Alex Avila, and it's 4-1. The Twins extend their lead. It was a bit late on that fastball, too, but sometimes it doesn't matter how your timing is on a ball. It matters where the bat head hits the ball, and he squared that one up well. It was a bit late, but it stayed fair down the left field line. Now he has himself an extra base hit and an RBI. Arias scored all the way from first. Now here's Byron Buxton. Buxton 1 for 2. He singled and drove in a run earlier on. That was back in the second inning. The Twins have had the lead for this entire game. The Angels scored on a solo home run by Andrelton Simmons. That's been their entire offense to this point. A few hits. They got a few runners on base, too, in recent innings, but failed to drive them in. One ball, two strike pitch. Coming to Buxton from Andriese. That's down low, counts even 2-2. Alex Avila on second base. A run in for the Twins in this half inning. Even count. Swing and a miss. And Andriese gets another strikeout. There are 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Top of the order, though, coming up for the Twins, and there's still a runner in scoring position. And there's Max Kepler at the plate. Kepler 1 for 3. He doubled and scored. It was just last inning. He scored the 3rd run for the Twins. He scored on the Nelson Cruz RBI single. Twins got a run in after Alex Avila doubled home Luis Arias from first base. They have a 3-run lead. The 6th inning coming to a close, but the Twins in a position to score again. 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. Hitters count for Kepler, 2-0 pitch. That's outside, counts 3-0. Part of the order coming up next. Jorge Polanco's on deck. And Nelson Cruz and Josh Donaldson would follow him. 3 balls, no strikes. Andriese coming with the pitch. Too high, that's ball 4. So the vacated base is now occupied. And that'll bring up Jorge Polanco. Polanco 0 for 2 was hit by a pitch. That's a strike, counts 0-1. Alex Avila on second. He doubled home Arias. Pushed across the Twins' 4th run of the game. Max Kepler just walked. He's on first. Counts 1-1. Polanco almost chased, but thought better of it. And didn't commit. That's up high. Counts 2-1. High fly ball into right field. And that ball is going to clear the wall in right. And the Twins have broken this game open. It's 7-1 on Jorge Polanco's 12th home run of the season. Twins have gotten 4 of their 7 runs on home runs, but that's just the 2nd home run they've hit in this game. But this one painful for the Angels. The Angels now trail by 6. It was a 2-run game coming into this inning. It's now a 6-run game.
Now pitching.
Matt Andriese gave up an RBI double to Alex Avila and then gave up the 3-run home run to Jorge Polanco. And his day's over. Joe Madden on the mound now talking to Taylor Cole, who comes in and looks to put a plug on this 6th inning. Nelson Cruz coming up to the plate. And we'll flash you back to his home run. This was in the 3rd inning. Cruz has 2 RBIs in this game. He also had an RBI single last inning. He's been producing like always. This game, no exception. He'll bat with 2 outs and the bases empty. And a fresh pitcher on the mound. High and outside, counts 1-0. Cruz with 73 hits, good for 2nd on the Twins team. When he played for the Mariners, it seemed like hitting for average wasn't his strong suit. He was still a very powerful hitter, drove in runs, and flirted with 40 home run seasons. But with the Twins, he's had a sense of contact back into his game. He's been hitting for average. He's getting on base, driving in runs, still hitting home runs, but I mean, he's flourishing as a hitter here. Looks like his old Texas Rangers form. And many don't know this, but Nelson Cruz made his debut with the Milwaukee Brewers in 2005. Didn't play for the Rangers until 2006. Spent several seasons there. He played there from 2006 to 2014.
Now batting, the 3rd baseman.
And he reaches base on the 2-out walk, so Taylor Cole puts himself back into trouble. There's a runner on base now, 2 outs, and another dangerous threat coming to the plate. Josh Donaldson, who's 0 for 3. He's 3 for 10 with an RBI in this series. This is game 4 of a 4-game series between these two teams. The Angels won game 1, 11-3. The Twins then won games 2 and 3. They won each game by a run, but this game more lopsided at this point. It's 7-1. That's down low, counts 1-0. The Twins have put up 4 runs in this inning. And with Cruz working a walk, it's evident they're not quite done yet. That's up high, counts 2-0. Line drive left field toward the wall, and catch made by Justin Upton. And that ends the 6th inning. But with this one swing, the Twins have broken the game open. 3-run home run by Jorge Polanco. 2/3 of this game completed. It's the Twins 7 and the Angels 1. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 6, 7, 8 hitters due up in the Angels lineup. Matt Thaiss, Andrelton Simmons, and Jason Castro. Tyler Clippard still on the mound. He replaced Jake Odorizzi in the 6th inning. Got the final outs of that inning, and now he's here in the 7th. Starting this inning off. Jake Odorizzi in line for the win. Struck out 9 in his start. High fly ball out to right field. Max Kepler under it, seems to have a play, and he catches it. That's out number 1.
The bat, number 2.
So 1 quick out for Clippard, and then he'll bring up the number 7 hitter, Andrelton Simmons. Simmons is 1 for 2, solo home run. He hit back in the 5th inning. That's held up to the only Angels run to this point in the game. And he hit it off Odorizzi, just one blemish on Odorizzi's masterful performance in this one. See Corey Guerin and Sergio Romo warming up. When Simmons hit his home run in the 5th, the score was 2-1. The Twins extended their lead to 3-1 in the 6th. Or excuse me, they extended it 3-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Then scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th. The biggest blow being the Jorge Polanco 3-run home run. And now it's a 6-run game. Swing and a miss, it counts 2-2. But Odorizzi had the number of the Twins through the first 3 innings. got himself into some jams, gave up the run. Still pitched well, but wasn't as sharp. And roughly the second third of his start.
Now batting.
But still in line for the win, still gave up just one run. And here's Jason Castro. But Clippard doing a quality job so far out of the bullpen, mowing down the Angels hitters. That's inside, counts 1-0. Here's Joe Madden in his first season with the Angels. Former manager of the Chicago Cubs and the Tampa Bay Rays. Took both of those teams to the World Series. Now trying to turn around an Angels team that hasn't made playoffs since 2014. But the Tampa Bay Rays made it to the World Series in 2008, lost to the Phillies. And the Cubs won the World Series in 2016. That was also accompanied by playoff appearances from 2015 to 2018. Cubs didn't make playoffs in 2019. The Cardinals won the NL Central. And the Brewers, the other team from the NL Central to make playoffs, is a wild card team. But Clippard walks. No, Clippard walks Castro. There's Nick Martini. Martini 1 for 2. He had a single earlier on. And he takes strike one from Clippard. Jason Castro on first base. Swing and a miss. Counts quickly 0-2. Left side, there's Donaldson to Arias. Out at second is Castro. And that ends the top of the 7th inning. But home fans happy here as they get ready for the 7th inning stretch. The Twins lead it 7-1. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20 and Target Field, the venue of this game. It's the Twins' home field. Twins playing the Angels and putting on a show for their home crowd. 7-1's the score. Coming to the bottom of the 7th inning, 5, 6, 7 hitters due up for the Twins. Eddie Rosario, Miguel Sano, and Luis Arias. 1-0's outside, counts 2-0. Taylor Cole into the game. The third pitcher the Angels have used. Starter Tyler Glasnow pitched into the 5th inning but couldn't get out of it. Glasnow ended up giving up 3 earned runs. He's in line for the loss. Matt Andriese gave up 4 runs in the 6th. And Taylor Cole came in, finished off the 6th inning, and now he's pitching here in the 7th. That's strike 2. Cole, a starter in the minor leagues with the Angels, but since coming to the Major League roster, he's found a spot as a long relief pitcher. He and Andriese have that role. And he gets his first strikeout. Eddie Rosario goes down looking. We'll take a look at this. You be the judge. That was pretty quick, but looked across at his knees and was close to the outside edge. But the umpire ruled it a strike, so that's all that matters. Now with 1 out, here's Miguel Sano. Sano 1 for 3. He singled and later scored. He started a rally in the 2nd in which the Twins scored their first run. He singled, Arias singled, and then Buxton singled home Sano. 6-run game here in the bottom of the 7th. Two ball, no strike pitch. It's outside, counts 3-0. The Twins at this moment have a 6-game lead over the White Sox, who are in 2nd place. And the White Sox lost to the Tigers earlier today, so with a win, the Twins could move further up in the standings and continue their hot stretch. Counts 3-1. They won 24-5 in May. And they won all but 1 game last week. They have 1 loss in the month of June so far, and it was to these Angels on Thursday. Twins won the next 2 games in this series, and we've got game 4 of a 4-game series today. The Twins in position to outright win it. The Angels still playing in the hopes to split the series if they can come back. Full count pitch. On the ground left side. There's Rendon. Throws to Pujols. That's out number 2. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. Luis Arraez is coming to the plate. He's 1 for 2. Reached base twice, though. He got hit by a pitch in one of his plate appearances. He later scored on the Alex Avila double last inning. There's Andrelton Simmons. Throws to Pujols. That's out number 3. And the 7th inning is over. So the Twins fail to score in their offensive half of the 7th. After 7 full innings at Target Field, it's the Twins 7 and the Angels 1.
Your attention, please.
Here's Corey Guerin. He's coming out of the bullpen for the Twins, and he will pitch. In 18 games, he's pitched 19 1/3 innings. Has an ERA of 2.33. So judging by his games to innings pitch totals, he pitches just a bit over an inning per every appearance that he's in. He's a younger pitcher, but has been one of the lockdown guys this season. One of many lockdown guys in the bullpen. The Twins bullpen that includes Sergio Romo, Scott Alexander, Tyler Duffy, Guerin being one, Cody Stashak. The Twins last season they had a scale that was tipped more offense than defense or pitching. Their offense stole the show, but that didn't get them very far in playoffs. But this season, they have a strong bullpen. They have a strong rotation. Their offense is as good as ever. And it's yielded them the best record in the American League. They have a solid pitching staff. Their offense is ever present. They're one of the more feared teams in all of baseball. They won the AL Central last season, and they're looking to defend that now. They're first in the AL Central. The White Sox were in first through April and most of May. But the Twins, with that 24-5 month of May, have pushed themselves up into first place, and the White Sox, who went 18-11 in the month of May, are now in second place, but they've struggled to start June. That's why they've fallen to so many games back. As of right now, the White Sox lost today, and they're 6 games back of the Twins for first place. The Twins running away with the division lead. Catch made by Max Kepler. Mauricio's out, and that's the first out of the 8th inning. So with 1 out, that'll bring up number 2 hitter, Tommy La Stella. Scott Alexander, Sergio Romo warming up in the Twins bullpen. But the Angels really missing Mike Trout right now. He got injured a few weeks ago, and he's still on the injured list, expected to be back roughly 2 to 4 weeks. And that's why the outfield for the Angels looks so bizarre, because the Angels also traded away Brian Goodwin a couple weeks ago. He's not playing for the Red Sox. So 2 of the opening day starting outfielders for the Angels are not present. One's on the injured list and one playing for a new team. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. That's fouled off, counts 1 and 2. The Angels, despite having a winning percentage under 500, are still in 3rd place in the AL West. It's being dominated right now by the Astros and the Athletics. So the Athletics have had the AL West lead for most of May. Ground ball right side. There's Sano. That's out number 2. The Athletics last won the AL West in 2013. The Angels last won it in 2014. Of course, the Astros have won it the last 3 seasons. The Rangers won in 2015 and 2016, and the Mariners haven't made playoffs in quite the longest time, let alone have they won the AL West. 1 ball, no strike pitch. In the air to right. Catch made by Max Kepler. That's out number 3. The Angels get no runs on no hits and leave nobody on base. After 7.5 innings, it's the Twins 7 and the Angels 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're at
Keenan Middleton comes out of the bullpen for the Angels.
number 99.
He's pitched in 27 games, 33 innings, has an ERA of 4.09. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20, and I'm Nicholas Callis. 8-9-1 hitters due up in the Twins order. Alex Avila, Byron Buxton, and Max Kepler. Counts no balls and a strike. Middleton, one of the setup pitchers on this Angels team, but pitching in a mop-up role. Just get outs, keep the deficit where it is, and from this point on, give the offense the best chance to make a comeback in the top of the ninth. That'll be the Angels' last opportunity to tie the game in the top of the ninth. The Twins still batting here in the bottom of the eighth, looking for some insurance. Swing and a miss. Alex Avila strikes out against Middleton. He starts his outing out well.
Now batting. The center
That's out number 1.
Byron Buxton.
Yeah, look at that pitch. Just jammed him. Couldn't get extended. And with 1 out, that'll bring up Byron Buxton. Buxton 1 for 3. He netted himself an RBI in the second inning. Drove in a run with a single. His average is .253. He's also slugging .412. Bit unconventional for him, but has some added power this season. Though he's still one of the few players on this Twins team in this Twins starting lineup that isn't known for being a power hitter. He's quickly down to the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Middleton. That's outside. Counts 1 and 2. That's well too high. Counts even 2 and 2. That last pitch from Middleton came in at 97 miles per hour. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Middleton. That's out number 2 in the bottom of the 8th.
Up next for Minnesota.
It's a well-placed fastball, low and inside. Close enough to swing at, and Buxton couldn't hit it. So now with 2 outs, here comes Max Kepler. Kepler 1 for 3. He doubled, scored a couple times in this game. He scored when Nelson Cruz hit an RBI single. And he scored on the Jorge Polanco 3-run home run. 7-1's the score. It's up high. Count is 2-0. Twins leading by 6 at this point in the game, and Kepler falls behind. Or excuse me, Kepler gets ahead. Middleton falls behind. 3 balls and no strikes. That's right over the middle of the plate. Counts 3-1. Middleton consistently throwing 97 with his fastball. High fly ball out to right. And that's foul, so Middleton has worked it back full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three-two pitch. Out to right field. That's headed toward the wall, and that's going to one-hop the wall. Martini plays it. Gets it into the cutoff man. And LaStella just holds it. It's a 2-out double for Max Kepler, his 12th double of the season. And the Twins have a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Didn't even slide. Didn't even have to. The relay didn't come in time. So now here is Jorge Polanco. Just 1 hit, but it was a crucial blow to the Angels. A 3-run home run in the 6th inning, part of a 4-run inning for the Twins. But that home run specifically broke this game open. That's fouled off. Counts even 1-1. Polanco, a switch hitter, batting from the left side. He hasn't faced a left-handed pitcher at all in this game. Neither has any other Angels hitter. They've all been righties coming out of the bullpen. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Little flare toward left. Caught by Simmons. And the 8th inning has come to a conclusion. The Twins get no runs despite getting a runner on base. After 8 full, it's the Twins 7 and the Angels 9. Last chance for the Angels to make a comeback in this game. You'll see that coming up next. This is Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Middle of the order due up for the Angels in this half inning. Justin Upton, Albert Pujols, and Matt Thaiss. Corey Guerin still on the mound. He pitched a full 8th inning, didn't give up any runs, but doesn't start this inning off well. That's going to clear the wall. That was a line drive that just kept carrying, and Justin Upton has 24 home runs. And it's 7-2 now. The Angels still a trail. That was a heck of a hit, Paul. That was left over in the middle of the plate. Just kept sailing. It was a hot day out as well, so it makes sense. Balls tend to carry in the heat. And Corey Guerin done pitches 1+ innings. And the ball turned over to Sergio Romo. Romo, 13 1/3 innings pitched this season. Has an ERA of 2.03, and he'll be next tasked with getting the final 3 outs of this game. Here's Albert Pujols. It's outside, counts 1-0. So Guerin pitched a scoreless 8th inning, but in the 9th gives up a run. So his official scoreline is 1+ innings pitched and 1 earned run given up. Both Angels runs were scored on home runs. Andrelton Simmons was the other player to go deep earlier in the game. One ball, 1 strike count on Albert Pujols, who is 0 for 3. Down low, counts 2-1. Romo, former relief pitcher and closer with the San Francisco Giants. Was a part of a couple of their World Series teams. Also played for the Rays for a short period of time. Now with the Twins, he's been here for a couple seasons. On the ground left side, there's Donaldson. Donaldson throws to Sano. That's out number 1. This is not a save situation for Romo either. The gap's too large. But in a certain sense, he is looking to close out this game, get the final 3 outs, and he has one of those 3. Now here's Matt Thaiss. Thaiss 0 for 3. First pitch from Romo. On the ground left, or excuse me, that's the right side, into the shift. Arias to Sano, but it's off the bag. That's the first error committed by the Twins in this game, and then it's charged to Luis Arias. So the Angels, a bit of hope. They got a solo home run to lead off this inning. Pujols grounded out, but Thaiss just reached on an error. So now here's Andrelton Simmons, responsible for one of the 2 Angels' runs. He had a home run earlier in this game. That was the only run that held up for a while until Upton hit a solo home run in this 9th inning. Couple of lefties warming up, Scott Alexander and Taylor Rogers. Rogers, the former closer of the Twins. He's been reduced to a setup role, but may come into this game. High fly ball out to right. Max Kepler makes the catch, and now there are 2 outs in the top of the 9th.
Now that's catcher, Jason Castro.
Oh, hey, just speaking of the Angels, too, I'm checking out MLB Network on my other television, and they're airing the Angels' Game 7 win against the Giants, which was their first in franchise history. Made me think of them because they're playing right now. Now, those were 2 great teams, though, in 2002. The Angels were also a part of the first duo of teams, the first two wild card teams to make it to the World Series in the history of Major League Baseball. And that's only happened one other time since. It was the 2014 World Series. The Giants were back in it, and they played the Royals. They were both wild card teams that season. And they were both in the World Series. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch to Jason Castro. That's down low, counts even 2-2. And as I reminisced about the Angels and wild card games, I failed to realize that the Angels are down to their last strike. Sergio Romo with an opportunity to close this one out. Matt Thaiss on first base. 2-2 pitch. Got him swinging, and this ball game has come to a finish. The Minnesota Twins led since the second inning. They didn't give up a lead at all in this game, and they win handily in this one. 7-2, the final score. The Twins improved to 47-20. They still have the best record in the American League, and they're still the leaders in the American League Central. The Los Angeles Angels fall to 30-35. And depending on how the Athletics do, they might fall to 10.5 games back in the division, but that's still pending. But they're still in third place. That's not in jeopardy, but they fall further below a .500 winning percentage. But 7-2, the final score. The Twins win this game. The Twins win this series. They took 3 of 4 games from the Angels, and as they had a hot May, they continue to dominate the month of June. But a quick scoring summary. Byron Buxton had an RBI single in the second. Nelson Cruz tacked on a run with a solo home run in the third. It was 2-0 at the time. The Angels got a run in the fifth on an Andrelton Simmons solo home run, but the Twins responded with a run of their own in the bottom of the fifth inning. And then the Twins got 4 runs in the sixth. They got an RBI double from Alex Avila, and then a home run was hit by Jorge Polanco, a 3-run home run. That made it 7-1. Justin Upton hit a home run at the top of the ninth inning. It was 7-2, but too little too late for the Angels, who lose this game by 5 runs. Both starters got a decision, and very simply, Jake Odorizzi got the win. He pitched 5 in the third innings, gave up 1 earned run on 4 hits. Tyler Glasnow got the loss. He didn't do too poorly, but pitched an inning less than Odorizzi, 4 in the third innings. He gave up 3 earned runs on 6 hits, and he got the loss. And, of course, this game, there's too much of a distance between it for a save to be awarded to a Twins bullpen arm. But Twins win 7-2. You've been watching Major League Baseball's Virtual Network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis, saying so long from Target Field.